Hi, this is Jackie Murray with Ask a Tech Teacher. I'm your guide through these 32 lessons in the Structured Learning Technology curriculum. We're on lesson 14 in third grade. This is the first of two lessons on holiday greetings. Now, they're two separate holiday greeting projects, so they don't get 2 weeks to make the project. They get to make two different ones. Now, if your students are new to technology, you might pick one of these and give them 2 weeks on it because if they're just getting used to technology, it could take them a little longer than it will in a couple of years when they come to third grade with lots of skills. So you decide what works best, but I'm going to go over both of these and then you just pick the one that's best. Okay, so there aren't really new words. I think they're used to most of these, font and formatting, greeting. I think we're good with all those. The problem-solving tools, project takes 2 pages. They've already talked about that, resizing fonts and images, wrapping of images. I think most of these they're familiar with, but they're going to run into them. We know from experience it'll take students 4 to 5 times to get very comfortable with some knowledge. So if this is only their second time figuring out how to wrap with images so the image goes where they want it to, it could take them a little longer, or that they're to click where the image is going to go could take them this lesson and review it without telling them, review it because this isn't the first time. And then you know your students. So you decide how much guidance they need. Vocabulary decoding, probably a new skill, maybe not. And the rest of it, though, is just scaffolded from prior skills. Communicate information and ideas effectively. Technology makes that easy. So that's what we're working on in this lesson. They're going to sign up for the board. So your assessment, you want them signed up for the next board. You want them to finish this project if you're doing it in 1 week. And use good keyboarding habits. They're doing a lot of keyboarding today. So if you don't want to do the warm-up, you don't have to, because they're going to do keyboarding down here. You might want to get them started right away, or you don't need that time to get yourself organized, whatever. Then they will be doing a lot of keyboarding in class today to write their story. So make sure you have signups for Speak Like a Geek. Make sure they bring a holiday story to class with them. It'll take them a lot longer if they have to write it from their thoughts. And you don't want to, that's not the exercise we're doing today. But if they don't have it, give them a couple minutes instead of doing the warm-up to go get it. Or if no one has it, then you might have them start right away on typing it. I think, okay. So you're going to ask about evidence. If this is the once a month you do it, any evidence for the evidence board. They're going to sign up for Speak Like a Geek presentations today. This is the second presentation board. And you've been saving words from class for this, so hopefully you have a long list of them. Here's some samples. And these may be like the ones you have. You might even ask students to contribute, to tell you what words they'd like. But it would have to be done quickly because we're not giving them a lot of time between startup and sign up. So they're going to, here's how the Speak Like a Geek works. They will sign up for a date to present. They'll do it on class calendar or Sign Up Genius or Google Calendars or Google Sheets, whatever you choose as the sign up vehicle. You're going to have them sign up. They're going to take note of what let me see where that is. Okay, it's in student workbooks. And their name, their date, the presentation, their word, the presentation date. They want to know these. Now, if you're using workbooks, have them fill this right out. If you're not using workbooks, then just make a page that has these 3 pieces of information and have them fill it out. They can do it digitally and just save it to their digital portfolio, or they can do it on paper, whatever works for you. So they're going to sign up for the date to present. They're going to select a vocabulary word, a geek word that they're going to then define for their classmates. They're going to stand up in front of the class on the date that they picked. They're going to say, hi, my name is, mywordis.com, that means this, any questions. It's that fast. So they'll have to come up with a way to define that word. They can ask family, friends, they can look it up. Then if they are looking it up, they want to make sure that the definition they get fits the word. Like data will have a broad range of definitions. So they want the word that fits technology, what they're doing. Clone is another one, color palette. So they want to make sure that the definition they share with students fits the technology class. Let's see, it's students' responsibility to find this. They can look it up on Google, and here's how they do it. Define them, write the word, and it comes up with the definition. Okay, it's only about 3 minutes. It's very quick. You do 3 a day. And the questions, I always limit it to maybe 3 questions because students will everyone will ask a question otherwise. So maybe 3, and that gives you a chance to explain to the presenter, how do you take questions from an audience? You don't just point always to the same corner of the classroom. You go from side to side. You're very fair and balanced about how you take questions. So go over that with them as they're presenting and then taking questions. All right. Now for you, if any of these words you don't understand, the vocabulary words here is a great source of the words if you need some. And if you don't know any of those, go to the K5 Technology Wiki that you joined as part of this. It's free. It's different from this one because we've upgraded it. But you probably know that already. And one of the pages in the wiki is the words. I'll show you how to find that. So here we're in kindergarten to 5th technology.wikispaces.com. You're going to go down here to vocabulary, not in the grade levels, but under vocabulary. And then you have all of the words in the vocabulary list in the lessons with user-friendly definitions. Now, these are not technical definitions. They're very simple. If you're looking for complicated advanced definitions for middle school or high school, these might be too simplistic, but these are perfect for what you're talking about in this case. So there you have it. It's right over there, and you can use those. You can pick these words and assign them, or better, hopefully you collected them from students throughout up to this point in the school year. Okay, so there's assessment here, and they have it also, so they can see what you're going to assess them on. Very transparent. And you will make copies of this, put them on your iPad, and just fill them out, put their name up here, fill them out, and then move to the next one. So it's done as they're presenting. This is not work that you have to take home and try to remember how did that presentation go. You do it as they speak. Just fill it out and go to the next one. Swipe over to the next one. So they know exactly what you're doing. All right, so now we're done explaining that. This probably starts next week. So put that aside while they're doing their keyboarding practice. They could sign up for the Speak Like a Geek. You want them to know they have to sign up before the day's out. So come in at lunch or after school or whenever it is. Go online, just get it done. Otherwise, you start assigning. So if they don't want to be assigned a word and a date, they need to take care of it. Okay, these are examples of letters they have done in the past in 2nd grade. I think this is 2nd grade because they don't do word processing till 2nd grade if you've been working with this curriculum. So they're going to be a little more advanced this year in 3rd grade. This might be too advanced because you're only going to give them, well, they bring these to class. So whatever they have brought to class is fine, but they have to put it all on one page. So once they type the page in and then add the pictures and the font sizes and the border and everything, it still has to fit on one page. So you're talking not 250 words, you're probably talking 100 words. Now have them do the math on that. Their story is 100 words at a typing speed of 10 words per minute. How long does that take them? So 10 minutes. The goal for 3rd graders is 15 minutes. 15 words per minute. So most 3rd graders can sit and type for 10 minutes without a problem. So you shouldn't have any third graders that have a problem. What you don't want them to do, though, is write the story during class, because that does take considerably longer. So you want them to come to class with these stories already written. Otherwise, they'll have to be shorter. You can still make it work, but they're going to have to be shorter because they won't have time. Okay, so they're going to make sure they have their heading at the top, the title, which they'll come up with the title after they write the story, and then type the story. And then they're going to add these pieces. And they're going to add formatting. Now, formatting you do will depend upon your word processing program. For instance, it's very easy to add borders in Word, but not so much in Google Docs. So you might just skip the borders in Google Docs. So know the tool you're using and know which of these steps work best for them. Word art, great. Word art is really nice in MS Word, but not so much so in Google Docs. So just adapt to your tool. The important thing they're learning is typing, practicing their typing, writing authentically, using it, using their typing skills to write a story that they can share with family and friends. This happens to be a letter. You might choose to make it a letter. Okay. So if you're an iPad school, though, go use the apps for Pages and Google Docs. They will be much simpler, but they'll give you the ability to wrap around a text, an image. And that's good. Sway as a storytelling tool is wonderful. So you could use that, or StoryKit. So those are really good for iPads. All right. And then they're going to work with a neighbor and make sure they filled in all of these. Now you will have some of these where you go, okay, we didn't do 3 different colors. So cross out the 3 and make it 2, or cross it out entirely. We didn't do the border, cross it out entirely. They'll use their annotation tool in their student workbook and just adapt it so they know what's expected of them. Or if you don't have the student workbooks, then you can use this and just cross them out. It doesn't matter if they see, okay, how come you crossed out festive border? Because it gives you a chance to talk about borders. So it doesn't matter if they see you crossed it out on the template you pass out for them to fill out. Doesn't matter at all. Okay, and exit ticket is they're going to turn it in to you before they're done, because they only have this week to do it. Now, of course, as we've said before, if you're giving them 2 weeks, then they don't have to. I think that's it. Take your notes here, whatever you think, to remind yourself for next year. And let me know if you have any questions. Have a great week. Talk to you soon. Bye.